So the UFC is going to be traveling to Hamburg, Germany this weekend for a fight night card that's decent, I guess, especially for what happened for it. I'll give it. They had 3 fighters drop out from this card. We had the main event fighter Volkan Ozdemir drop off. We had Ilir Latifi drop off against his fight against Glover Teixeira, and then we had Alan Jabon get pulled for an injury against Danny Roberts. So 3 fighters had to get pulled from the main card. They did fight replacements for everybody, so luckily there's still fights going on, but tough for a card like this that doesn't have any giant fights to really carry it. So we'll see what the numbers end up being, but I'm excited for a few of these matchups. So I'm gonna get started breaking these down, giving my picks. First, we have Mauricio Shogun Hua versus Anthony Smith. Awesome fight. They're both really good clinch fighters, really good elbows, knees, both sort of savvy vets, with Anthony Smith never really getting there. He's always been a contender, always been sort of working his way up the ladder, even though he's got more fights than Shogun. Yeah, he's got 4 fights more than Shogun. He's younger. I think I'm going to go with Anthony Smith on this one. I think Anthony Smith's going to get it. He's young, he's hungry, he's just coming off a win against Rashad Evans, so I feel like the confidence is there. Dangerous striker, dangerous with the knees and elbows right out of the clinch. He's got that Muay Thai style. He's really been picking up his jab lately, using that jab to disrupt people. Just a really good fighter. I'm expecting second round KO out of Anthony Smith. Glover Teixeira versus Corey Anderson. I've got Corey Anderson on this one. I think he's probably going to grind out a decision in the end. But man, you know, he's got such crazy good wrestling, and he's down to just stand and strike with people. But his wrestling, the timing on his wrestling, on his takedowns, his ability to flip people over, to change position, those transitions, really good. And he's a good striker too, so he's cool to strike for a while until he figures he needs to take it down. Now Glover Teixeira is dangerous. That left hook that he has really puts people out, and Corey got caught by a left hook against Jimmy Manuwa, so I could see Glover coming with that left hook. So as long as Corey can watch out for that, as long as he learned from that mistake and can, you know, really put the pressure on Glover, I think he's going to pull out a decision on this one. So next up, we have Vitor Miranda, Lex Luthor versus Abu Azaitar, making his UFC debut. Abu Azaitar, people don't know him. He's stepping in, or this will be his first UFC fight, but man, this guy hits hard. He's super strong. I got Abu Azaitar. A lot of people don't know who he is because, I mean, he doesn't even have a picture on here. This will be his first UFC fight. This is going to be a good debut, I think, for him. So watch out for that one. Next up, Marcin Tybura versus Stefan Struve. Stefan Struve, the 7-foot tall monster that just doesn't know that he's 7 feet tall. He never uses his reach to his advantage. Not to say never, he has. He beat Stipe Miocic. He beat the now former heavyweight champ. So it can be really good, but a problem he has is letting smaller guys get in the inside, and they're better boxers than he is. He's really good at jiu-jitsu. He's good with kicks, but really, if a smaller fighter can get inside and has good boxing, Mark Hunt, Big Country, guys like that, they can kind of have their way with him. And I think Marcin Tybura is going to do that. So I got Marcin Tybura on this one. I think he's going to have good boxing fundamentals. He's going to be able to get inside, and I could see a knockout. I could also see a decision. You know, Stefan Struve's been struggling against the top guys lately, and I don't know. I think I got Marcin Tybura. Next up, Danny Roberts versus David Zawada. David Zawada stepping in last minute against him because of Alan Jabon having to drop out. So I got Danny Roberts on this one. He has a heavy left hand. He hits really hard, but he also has really good jiu-jitsu if he gets caught into it. He doesn't really use his wrestling very much, but really good striking, really good kicks, you know, really dynamic, fast kicks, hard kicks, and he's got heavy hands. David Zawada, I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. He's a last minute step in. They call him Sagat. I don't know. It's from Germany, 16-3. So we'll see how he does. It says he's got a 69% KO rate, so it looks like he's got heavy hands too. So I'm expecting a slugfest on this fight. And next up, rounding out the main card, is another one I'm really excited about. Nasrat Haqparast versus Mark Diakese. Yeah, I'm sure I'm butchering these names. Nasrat, 8-2 from Germany, 100% KO rate. Dude puts everyone out. He fights similarly to Mark Diakese as being an outside striker. He fights a lot from the outside, a lot of kicks. Problem is, I feel like Nasrat hangs inside and is willing to throw, and he gets hit a lot. He doesn't have very good defense, and I think Mark Diakese is gonna expose that. Diakese is a killer, bomb striker, good jiu-jitsu. He gets those decisions. Mark Diakese just throws insane spin kicks. He can just, he has no setup for a lot of these. They just come out of nowhere, flying spin kicks. So I got Mark Diakese by flying kick KO, something crazy. This is gonna be a really good matchup. I think this is gonna be kicks flying left and right. This is definitely ending in a KO. So I got Mark Diakese by knockout. On the Fight Pass prelims, we got Nick Hein versus Damir Hadzovic. I don't know much about him, but I know Nick Hein is a really good striker, and his jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. So I'm going with Nick Hein on this one. I'm really looking forward to this fight. Emil Meek versus Bartosz Fabinski. Emil Meek is a Viking. The dude hits hard, just brutal. He comes forward, he just puts the pressure on you and has heavy hands. He's in phenomenal shape, and dude's just a monster. He got outworked and out wrestled by Kamaru Usman, so that kind of exposes his wrestling game just a little bit, but he has good takedown defense and really good striking, a lot of power. I got Emil Meek winning this one. Yeah, that's gonna be a fight to look out for. It's a really good one. Next up is Khalid Taha versus Nad Narimani. I got Khalid on this one. I don't know too much about him, but he's a really good striker, and he has a little more power than Nad. So I'm gonna go with Khalid on this one, but it's gonna be interesting just to find out who these guys are. Rounding out the prelims card, we got Justin Ledet versus Alexander Rakic. I got Ledet on this one. I think he's got really good underrated submission and wrestling game, and he's a good all-around fighter. Stays busy, lands a lot of strikes, and just keeps coming forward and keeps pressuring them. And I'm also picking him because he's from Rocheron. He's from Texas. He's from just south of where I'm from Houston. So I'm gonna give that one to Justin Ledet. I'm gonna be rooting for him, hometown, represent. So yeah, I'm a little biased on that one, but it's okay. Next up, we have Davey Grant versus Manny Bermudez. This fight's one I'm looking forward to too, because I do jiu-jitsu, and these dudes are both jiu-jitsu killers, both with over a 70% sub rate. Expect some crazy jiu-jitsu battle from this one. Manny, the Bermudez triangle, getting most of his wins by triangle submissions. His last one by a guillotine. Reminds me a lot of Brian Ortega, if you've seen his fights, where he just locks in those submissions really fast. Just locks in that headlock really fast and knows what he's doing. Manny Bermudez, really good jiu-jitsu game, and Davey Grant too, but I think I'm gonna go with Manny Bermudez on this one, just because I've seen more of him, seen more of his wins. So I'm gonna go with Manny on that one, but that's gonna be an awesome fight to look forward to, and that's on the Fight Pass prelims. Next up, this is another one you're not gonna want to miss. These Fight Pass prelims got some good fights that people I think are gonna be missing. You got Post Malone lookalike Jeremy Kimball over here versus Darko Stosic. He's a Serbian monster. Dude hits so hard. He's got really good front leg kicks. He will land those leg kicks and then throw bombs over them left and right. Doesn't care. No setup, no real jabs, just power strikes. He just comes forward and just bombs on people. So I got Darko Stosic on this one. Also, he's huge compared to Jeremy Kimball. So unless Jeremy Kimball just comes out looking like Brock Lesnar, I got Darko Stosic by knockout. It's gonna be a scary knockout, I think. And lastly, starting out the night on the Fight Pass prelims card, we got Damian Stasic versus Liu Pingyang. I'm actually gonna pick Liu Pingyang on this one. I watched some footage on him. He's got really good wrestling and really good jiu-jitsu. And I think guys at that level, forget about that. And I know Damian Stasic has a really good jiu-jitsu game too that's underrated, but I think Liu is going to be underrated on this. I think he's got good jiu-jitsu, good striking, and he mixes it up. He's really good all-around MMA fighter. Really good timing on those takedowns too and those submissions. So that's gonna be another good jiu-jitsu match. So two really good jiu-jitsu fights for those of y'all that do that. and then the rest are just going to be, I think, knockouts. A lot of knockouts on this card. So keep an eye out for that. This isn't a bad card for all the bad stuff that's happened to it, all the dropouts that we had, and then just being a Sunday morning card in Germany. I know a lot of people are going to be sleeping through this one, but I think this is going to be a card that's going to surprise a lot of people. Not a lot of stakes in these fights. You got, if Corey Anderson wins, he's sort of going to be up there in contention in light heavyweight, but nothing really to make a statement. So good fights. So if you're into that, this is gonna be for the hardcores. Thanks for watching. Please follow my channel, MMA Undercard. Follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all MMA Undercard. And see you next week. Thanks.